Andrew Young, and I'm here to lead you on an exciting journey, to share with you an experience so remarkable and, well, so magnetic, that people return again and again, year after year, some to escape from the world around them and others to discover it. Join me in this adventure and become reacquainted with our state and the people in it. Meet a select group of people who see Georgia as few see it, from the seat of a bicycle. Welcome to Bragg 90, the bicycle ride across Georgia. Bragg, the annual bike ride across Georgia. At first, it sounds kind of hot and tiring, and the name doesn't try to fool anybody either. Georgia is a big state to ride a bike across. The word annual almost makes you think it'd take a year to do it. On the other hand, the ride has grown from a little over 50 persons in 1979 to just about 1,800 this past summer. And I'm inclined to think there must be a pretty good reason if that many people continue to come back and bring their friends. I actually have a confession to make. I'm one of the converted. I first rode Bragg in 1985, and I almost haven't missed a year since. That's not quite true. I didn't make it all the way last year. All year long, though, I look forward to those few days in June when I can escape into a world where I'm surrounded by a sort of huge family. A world where there's a surprise around every corner, and a world where everyone is truly equal. Things like income, profession, and in some ways even age don't matter. From 7 years old to 79, we all get the same map. We all get the same bananas at the rest stops, and we all get the same hills. I think that's one of the things that makes Bragg unique. We're all there for the same reasons. We're there to relax, to explore our state, and to enjoy each other.
This is just great. This is what Bragg is all about. This is great. Smile.
For some folks, it's they do it on a bet. You know, I'm going to ride across the state, and then they have to carry that out because they've told their friends they're going to do it. Others, it's a chance to renew acquaintances from years past or meet new friends.
I've been amazed to learn of all of the different professional people, you know, take this opportunity to come and just get away for a while. It's real hard work, but it's a lot of fun.
Not just people who are members of cycling clubs and spend a lot of time cycling, but who just want to try it for a one-shot deal and then maybe get into it a little more.
Just common, everyday people.
This is my first time doing Bragg, and I'm real excited about getting out here and meeting all the different people that someone would not have a chance to do. So I'm very much excited about being part of this.
I've had a ball on this thing, and I've got to know so many people that it's just like going to a class reunion or something, you know.
Well, I've met various people, one person from Tennessee, a couple of people from Florida, several people from Arkansas. There even are some people from Maine, just all over the place. Very interesting.
What do I get out of it? A different week out of the year, something to look back on in the winter and start thinking about in the spring, to look forward to. A lot of nice pictures and friends keep meeting throughout the year unexpectedly when I go on different bike rides in different parts of the state. A break in the routine and just a chance to be a child again.
I like the people, and I do like the freedom of being out on the road for a week. And, you know, when I get back in the traffic, back riding in rush hour, give me something pleasant to think about.
Kind of occupations are they in that this becomes a relief? But it's fun. It's great fun. I keep doing it. I hope to keep doing it for a long time to come.
It's hard to keep up. I just know I set up camp, I break down camp, I get on my bike, I ride, I follow the group, I hope they're going the right way. And when they tell me it's over, I guess that's when it's, you know, I get to go home. The only problem is I have to go back to work then. But it's working out.
If my boss could see me sitting here in this greasy old gas station with my head under a faucet out here in the middle of Georgia. It's just a total departure from your everyday life.
It's a different sort of thing. You're rolling through the countryside at a slow pace, and you know, you just see things. If you take the time, you can see things you normally would never ever see. And that's why what the purpose of Bragg is to enjoy a different part of the state every year.
What's continually surprising to me is the beauty of these little towns in Georgia. These great old Greek Revival mansions that you see and all of the other terrific architecture. You get to meet, pardon the cliche, a lot of interesting people. You get to see an awful lot of places that you just wouldn't see otherwise. I mean, who would think of going to some of these small towns like Cartersville or LaGrange or Carrollton or any of them? So it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
And it's a great geography lesson. You learn a little more about your state, the cities, you know what the towns look like and everything. And each, you know, when you're driving, you know, the towns all look alike. When you're cycling, it's not quite the same. You know, each town has its little characteristics, its own character, I guess I should say.
We've enjoyed it, and it's been good for business, and the entire area here is it's been a sight for them to see. You know, they've never seen this many bikers cycling before, so it's been something for them to see. It's not traffic, you know, but people have gotten used to that in the last hour or so, and they just work around. It's been an experience, and good for business, good for the community and everything. But we've enjoyed having it. Sure have.
You know, when this big crowd come into town, you know what to leave. Stay in town, leave. We never saw that many people in here. Not on bicycles, not on bicycles running. We don't ever see that. Don't you know? You think it's crazy to see all this many people. Even my dog went home.
Finding a store like this with this food is what this ride is all about. It sure is for me.
You know, you do things on a bike you just don't do in a car. We stopped at some old stores, just ratty old looking places, and you think you'd never stop there. And you go in there, and it's just a super little place. I remember about 3 years ago, we went to this little old store that this man, I think he was in his 80s, had run it, and his father had run it before him. And last year we went by there again. We walked over, and it was all boarded up. The man was in a hospital in Macon. It was kind of sad, but it was like we witnessed the change of an era there.
This is our original cash register.
Does this key still work? Come up?
I think they will. I don't know. I hadn't played with it in a long time. It probably needs to be oiled up. Yeah. All real good. I'd like to have the money that came through this cash register over the years. We didn't replace this one in the 70s, probably. We left mid-60s, so it
used it up until 60s and 70s?
About 66, I think, is when we discontinued this model. Your later taxes and all, we had to go with something modern.
These are the kind of stops that really make things wonderful about Bragg. Stop at a little store like this and visit with people who've probably been running it for generations or so. It's like old times.
You know these folks? I didn't till yesterday, but we love them. We love all the people.
Aren't they sweet? They just invited us to stay here in their front yard. It's been nice. Mr. Teaver was sitting outside on the porch, and Mike walked over and asked if he'd mind if we'd set up in the shade, because it was real nice and shady here when we got here. And they'd invited us in their home to watch Wheel of Fortune and given us tea and everything. Gave us breakfast, gave us egg salad sandwiches. They're just super sweet people. Great grandparents, I bet.
Oh yeah, we tried to get them to come in the house.
We just heard that the bicyclist was coming through and all, so we just told them that they could come out here and instead of being out in the hot sun, you know, for water and what have you. So I told the boys that, why don't you set up a lemonade stand? So that's what they've done, and we've enjoyed meeting everybody. There's been a lot of people who come through here today, so we've enjoyed it.
Ah.
Got his baby with him, hadn't he? Cute as he can be.
As you ride by homes where there are obvious needs because of poverty, you know, you wonder about what has gone into that to make that happen like that, you know. And so there's some sadness there as you ride by, you know, because we go where we want to go. There are people who obviously cannot.
Bragg, it seems, is one of the few times in a year when you really have the opportunity to kind of be alone with yourself and reflect. I can only begin to describe to you the contentment found in the simple act of riding beneath a cathedral of pecan boughs, a past and all but forgotten cemetery. The simplest things can become a source of complete relaxation, like just listening to the whir of bicycle tires on the pavement, a stopping to rest in the shade of an old tree or at a beautiful old church. In spite of the 1,800 people or so, somehow you can find solitude. At the same time, you're never lonely. Bragg is possibly the greatest social happening in the state of Georgia. It's amazing, really. Bragg folk always seem to be right there when you need them, to help you with a flat, or to offer you a banana or a slice of watermelon, or just to share a story or two to make you smile. By the end of the week, I always feel like I'm partying with old childhood friends, but not without a good photo album full of snapshots.
R-A-G 90.
Well, Mike, I'm a 7-year veteran of this ride, And I've been 7 years, people have gotten pretty stiff and bored, and just do it for the ride for the ride. I kind of ride for the fun of it, and my helmet's like a little bit of a comic relief to people who really having trouble with the ride. The hills, they hate the hills. I pass them, they're like, oh, chuckle, hey, he's cool. I've been called Sputnik by my grandfather. He likes it. I like it.
Keep calling it the Cadillac of bicycles.
No, they call it the old man's bicycle. You have to have an AARP card to get one.
This is a radio in the bag. We have a 20-meter amateur radio, and I run Morse code on it. This is the paddle that sends the code. It's surprising how many people know about Bragg already. Talked to several people, and one up in New Hampshire the other day that had a recumbent bicycle, and he knew all about Bragg and said he wished he was with us.
It's a family atmosphere. Everyone's so cooperative. If you get broken down or anything on the road, there's always someone there to give you a hand, ask, are you all right, and everything like that.
One thing that I didn't know, having never ridden before, I didn't have any idea how to ride into a group. And there's a lot of rules about how to passing people, pointing out the driver or the rider up front, pointing out certain obstacles in the road and stuff. Well, I've learned that, and everyone's helped me out real well as far as going along. I just asked the questions, and people pretty much showed me, or if I did something wrong, they would, caution me and let me know how to do it.
And the camaraderie is really great. And you meet so many terrific people from the cross spectrum of the United States. I mean, rich, poor, young, old. I think the youngest one this year is probably about 1 year. They had their 1-year birthday, and they're riding along piggyback. So.
First birthday on the trip.
Bethany.
Bethany, say happy birthday. Say happy birthday to everybody. She's 1 and she's very heavy on the bike.
We met Andy on the bus ride up here from Albany. Yeah. And he was sitting in the front of the bus and we were sitting in the back. And Amber just decided to make friends. She's very friendly.
Little Amber's she helps me cool off. She sits in the buggy behind the tandem with her squirt gun. When I get too hot, I pull up, ask for a squirt, and she wets me down, helps me cool off.
I met Jim here last year on this ride, so we started dating after that, so we decided we'd do it together this year. So this is kind of an anniversary.
Yeah.
We're not married yet. That's on TV.
There are just so many wonderful people that you meet on this ride, and it's just an outstanding way to go out and see the state and meet wonderful people, I think. And I think if people are interested in doing that sort of thing, they ought to come on Bragg.
Now, we're gonna race. I'm gonna race you to the
Well, that would be an interesting thing.
Have they quit serving last night?
I really hope that I can ensure that all the riders have a good time. It's a lot like throwing a party for 2,000 of your closest friends for a week. That's what we're into.
And that's exactly what happens. I don't know if it's the sweat or the distance or the water fights, but something brings us together. Each person's achievement belongs to everyone. You can feel it in the struggle of the journey and in the victory of the arrival.
First hill was rough, and then after that, it was like it was 100 of them. Like the lady said, don't look down, and all the hills look flat.
It was a little bit of a challenge. If everything was downhill, it wouldn't be no fun at all.
Ride's great. Couldn't be better. Really having a good time here. Not enough hills, though. They need to put a few more hills in this one. A little steeper and a little longer, and you'd have it great.
I'm from Illinois, and we don't have hills. The worst thing we have are overpasses, and I can handle those.
127 pounds, 69 years old. The hills are not a problem.
Please don't tell me that.
No, that's what I told everybody. I said, if I can't make it, I'm just going to come up with the biggest knee problem I can find. You know, no problem. Yeah, you know, and everybody thinks I got a knee problem. It works.
We reckon we've made 30 miles, just about.
That means the easy 30 is left. So we'll make it, won't we? Jake has a tow rope, and he pulls me when I get tired.
And I'm really surprised because there's a lot of cyclists on the ride that really have not ridden in years, and they just get on brag and they go. And as long as they take their time and take it easy, they'll have no problem.
A lot of them aren't in the best of shape, but after a few days of riding it, they seem to kind of get the hang of it. They learn what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, this is merino lamb's wool. It's not the imitation stuff, it's the real stuff. And every night we take it off and dry it out. And you could even comb it and fluff it up. Keeps our rears on the go.
With the sheepskin on the seat, it doesn't help. It's a little extra padding, but that's about it.
So are you a little sore?
Well, I'm okay today, better than I was yesterday. It was tough getting back on that bike this morning.
Just going to make one more day of it for her. An extra 25 pounds I don't need for this whole trip. She's going to be really depressed, though, for the rest of the week, I'm afraid. She just loves to have her nose in the wind.
I have a Largo flyer I bought for $10 at a garage sale, and I haven't had a flat yet. But he's had 3 with his 1200 Eddie Murphy. See, he had a picture of the guy who built the bike right in front of him. Let me see. Makes an expensive bike.
I got a flat because I hit a rock.
How'd you get your other 2 flats?
Same type of thing, either rocks or piece of dust.
I had ridden more than 10 miles. Yes, I'd ridden a little more than he had. I ride some, but I hadn't done 60 miles in a day, so it was a new experience today for me too.
But she had never slept in a tent, and I have, so that's why I came to help her with the tent.
Set up the tent for me, so we've helped each other. We've made it through one day so far.
We're not hiding from you.
We're staying at a Ramada Inn because we like to cycle and we like to camp, but we don't like to camp and we don't like to cycle at the same time, because when you're nice and sweaty, it's no fun to crawl into a tent in the Georgia humidity. So we're off to the Ramada Inn. We load all our stuff in the bicycle and the saddlebags and backpacks, and then we're off to the Ramada Inn to the pool and the air conditioning, and that's roughing it.
Finally, after 78 towns, 362 miles, 51 broken spokes, and 4,200 gallons of Gatorade, and 1.5 tons of bananas, we make it. And every time I get that funny sensation at the end, you know? That bittersweet feeling you get when you accomplish something big. You're glad you made it, but you're really sorry the whole thing is over. And when 1,800 people all feel that way at the same place on Earth and at the same moment in time, I know that something fantastic has occurred, and it's called the annual bicycle ride across Georgia.
I sit behind a desk all year long. I've had a lot of, without any false modesty, a lot of professional accomplishments. But when I was in that parade last year, and they announced at the Civic Center at Savannah that anybody who finished the ride can pick up their certificates, I rushed to get a certificate, and I really treasure that certificate. It's tremendous.
No, this is my first brag. This is my first time across the state, and I loved it. I loved it. It had its painful moments across Pine Mountain, but I loved it.
Think you'd ever do it again?
Oh, yes. I'll be here next year. Just a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Every ride's a little bit different. Every one means different things. I think finishing the first brag was one of the more emotional moments of my life when I rolled into Savannah, having made that trip, when I set off not knowing if I could. You'll never repeat that because now I know I can do it. But each ride is a little bit different. It means something different to you.
Pink, I love it. It's my favorite color. I think we look wonderful. Yeah, it's been fun. Sure.
Can we talk to you three? You guys, did you all ride this together? Oh, I'll wait till you focus. Yeah. Do you all ride this together?
Yeah.
Do you have a team name or anything?
No, we didn't ride together. No, we've ridden across Tennessee and now Georgia. This is first time for you. My first time on Georgia. My second time.
What do you think?
Want to do it again?